Welcome to the Official Munzee podcast.
I'm Rob, also known as Coach V, your host and the president of Munzee.
And I'm Craig, also known as C. Marshall. I'm an avid Munzee player and I'm here to explore the game further.
Each week, we'll delve into Munzee's mysteries, divulge some secrets, and inform players from around the world just what is coming your way.
So sit back, relax, drive your car, whatever you like to do. Today's episode, we're going to chat. Firstly, there's a new Secret Zeeops out, but mostly, and more importantly, about the big weekend, Rob. It was huge, mate. This last weekend. Huge weekend. Huge weekend.
Amazing. Really great weekend.
Mm-hmm. You've got some stats for us as well, I hear. So
I do. We don't always share stats, you know, just not one of those things that we publicly promote very often. However, if people wanted to, be super like, oh, let's check it all out. Mm-hmm. Everything is available. You just have to have screenshots of before and after and some of those kinds of things. Plus, I'm sure Cuppsy has it somewhere tucked away.
Sam.
Right. So I might as well share it myself.
Yep. Also, as well, for those of you listening out there, we are going to end today's show, Rob, with something very special that you shared with me yesterday. So stay tuned, people, because we're going to end this show with a different ending, sort of a different musical ending, shall we say.
It is indeed very different. So please stick around.
Mate, talking about the weekend, etc. that was, you were at the UK mega event. Yeah. It was megas as well, was it?
Yeah, all four of the events in the New Forest. Yeah, all four of them went mega. One of them up to 80, I believe.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Last time I looked at it, it was just under 80. So I'm not sure if it made it all the way. But yeah, these are the biggest events that we've seen all year long, anywhere in the world. So very, very cool.
Yeah.
Had a great time. I literally had a blast, or a lot more than a blast. Yeah. So we had a great time. Lou joined me. She rode her bike around over the course of the weekend and rode her bike to the event, to the town.
Yeah.
So we hung out. We had a good time. Sam was there. So always good to catch up with Sam and find out a little bit more about what he has planned for the future, and what things I can disrupt and what things everyone's going to love and I'm going to about. So, yeah.
I will say this, and I know I'm skipping a little bit forward on our show notes, Rob, but I did contact Sam last weekend. Last weekend, when on the Friday, he actually contacted me about the Universals, the tip of the week, everyone capping the Universals, etc. as well. And he messaged me, he said, Craig, I hope Cuppsy holds up after your tip with the Universals, but it didn't just end there. He said to me, Craig, what have you done in regards to making sure people just do the Universals and don't get to do the socials as well? And I said, I said it on my video. Like I put a video out there saying these here are all the ones with points. The green ones by themselves are socials and no points. He went one step further. He even said to me, he goes, no, I'm going to spoon feed a little bit more because some people are still capping the socials. And then he was in the car, Rob, on his way to the events with a laptop on his lap. He then created a new little red highlighted button to say, when you go into that page, the Universal page, /social page, he created a button to say, do you want to include the socials with 0 points or exclude them? And so you click exclude the 0 points. It's one little button. And he added it in the car on his way without talking to you or anyone else in the team. You know what I mean? It was just, and I said to him, mate, he automatically did. Bang, done. Yeah. Within 5 minutes. I went,
the benefits of traveling to an event with your dad. So dad driving and Sam working.
Yeah.
So thing.
Again, Sam, you're listening. I know he does listen to the show, Rob. Big shout out to you, buddy. Really, really good job with that. And I think you saved a lot of people some heartache and some time, we'll say that, for 0 points because there still were people capping the socials, I dare say. So he did. Big shout out to Sam. Well done, mate. Good job. So there you go.
Yep.
Mate, what else have I been doing? I went to the New Jersey geocaching mega event, and then we had a Munzee event across the the river afterwards with Dale and Barb. So that was really nice.
All right.
Managed to put out some event flags as well. Which is cool. Those people don't know, Rob, who haven't been to events, and we talk about these event flags all the time. Mm-hmm. Briefly explain to people, if they don't know, what are event flags. Firstly, I think people should know.
So that's interesting that you say that, because the afternoon event in England was the first time that a lot of the UK players had seen these event flags as well. So they were talking about them, and I said, this is an example of what in America. Typically, we see them at all the events because they're very easy. So these are irrigation flags is what I have seen them called most commonly, available at like home improvement stores, places like that. Obviously, you can order all kinds of things on Amazon. But yeah, if people look up irrigation flag, it's an easy way. So it's a very thin, like metal rod, super thin, that has a like vinyl flag on the end of it. And they're always very bright. They're very colorful, which is nice because they stand out. It's also bad because they stand out, because little kids think that they're awesome to play with. Little swords, bad idea. But they also take them from event locations and they move them, or they just, whatever. So anyway, people will print out the codes, and then whether you tape them on there or whatever, they're temporary because they're there for the event, so they're only on the map for less than 24 hours. And so anyway, that's what it looks like. It's a very easy to see. Oh, look, there's the next one 100 feet down, and there's the next one, and there's the next one. People can kind of bend over, scan the code, keep moving. If you have really long flags, then you don't even have to bend down to scan them. So anyway, it's very handy.
Yes, and they are good as well for event hosts, because you don't have to find a location for the QR code. You don't have to tape it to a tree, for instance, or whatever. You can literally have them exactly the distance apart they need to be along the actual path. And it does take people on a nice walk through the park area in which you're at as well at the time. So that's really cool. So they're event flags. Rob, if you want to see people posting these event flags, guess what? There's a new video online from Munzee Events. W. Helen, he's put out a new video from their weekend as well. The reason why I say this is because there was two people. He videoed two people for the first time deploying the flags. And that was Mecca MN and Minnesota boy. So there you go. He's got his name on the podcast already. So
hey, yes. All right. Well, that's great. That way, for those people who still can't get a picture of what we're talking about and don't want to search irrigation flags, then go check out a YouTube video. That's great.
And the Minnesota do it right, Rob. We know that too. I did see they've actually got it in a like a big plastic tubing with a screw top end. So they carry and they sling it over their shoulder like a quiver, bow and arrow quiver, and literally they pull one out at a time, boop, scan it and put it in the ground, boop, scan it, put it in the ground. So I tell you, they do it right up there.
Great planning is what it is.
Exactly. Yep. All right, mate, let's get on before we go any further to the week that was. We had events in USA. We had Indiana, Kentucky, Florida, Minnesota, Missouri, Alabama, California, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. Around the world, we had...
we had British Columbia and Ontario, Canada. We had the UK events, all four of those going mega. Switzerland, Finland, Belgium, Netherlands on the border, and Denmark, Japan, and Australia, one in Victoria and one in ACT.
Very good. Now, Rob, they're ready for the leaderboards. This is going to take a little bit longer than normal.
Yeah, amazing.
You can do the Friday one, Rob, because that's less. What was on Friday?
All right, so Friday was a great start to the double points on everything weekend. We had Jack Sparrow with 2.69 million. His wife, Chicken Run, 1.91 million. Popo Jope, I don't know, 1.67 million. And then we had quite a few other millionaires. We had Skindo, Jeb G, J, Finder 400, Mandello, Waves 117, The Mockman, Humbird 7, and Schmitz Fam 4.
And on Saturday, Rob, we had, ready for this, 28 millionaires. That's right. 28 people got over 1 million points on Saturday. Number one being Addis with 3.08 million, Mandelo 2.08 million, Herbie on 1.6 million. Now, the others, Waves 117, Skindo, Jack Sparrow, Whelan, W. Helen, Brasilia, Halswen, Lanky Spanky. Oh, that's a great name. Hugo Soft, Humbird 7, Res 2100, Q22, Q17, and Munzee Prof, Chicken Run 123, XLF, XP2, Zelvic, Tofu Girl, Zave, Schmitzfam 4, Buckeye Casher 111, L Shh, Flamingo Floria, Batman 787, Finder 400, and DA Birds. There you go. I think I went through that pretty well, don't you?
I think you did.
There's
several of those. Several a little bit tricky. Well done.
Lanky Spanky, Rob. That's got it for me. Lanky Spanky right there. On Sunday we had...
On Sunday we had Herbie. Hey, by the way, he was a millionaire there on Saturday as well. Mm-hmm. He was the main host of the of the UK event. So special shout out there. Well done, Herbie. Herbie at 1.39 million, LY2KW 1.22 million, Jack Sparrow 1.17 million, and the other millionaires Gerards, Munzee Prof, Mandelo, FRLK, KWD, Addis, and Bellague.
So there you go. That's all the first, second, third place, and also all the millionaires over the weekend. As we said, Rob, it was huge. It was absolutely huge. I don't think you could even get on the top 100 leaderboard on Saturday, for instance, unless you were well and truly over 500,000 points. You know, and let's be honest, on a normal day, you get 500,000 points, you're in first. So there you go.
So I even looked to see how like the month is going, mm-hmm. and in order to make it into the top 100 for the month, you have to have like 1.5 million points. It's crazy.
Wow,
that's not how it normally goes. No. Top 100 is not usually that by the 17th. Yeah, so a lot more people out there that came close to getting those millions. Mm-hmm. Well done, and maybe it'll be there for you in the future. Yeah. One of them, Skunk Adamski. He was at the UK events and was like, I'm getting 1 million, so my name is on the podcast. Well, he didn't quite get it, but anyway, there's your name.
Oh, he didn't get the 1 million. Oh, well, but he got his name on the podcast anyway, so there you go.
He did.
Events this weekend, we're calming down a little bit compared to last weekend. In USA, we only have Missouri. That's it. So if you're in the US and you want an event this weekend, you got to go to Missouri. Around the world, Rob?
Around the world, we've got Hungary, we have 2 in Germany, and 2 in Australia, Victoria, and Queensland this time.
Very good. Look at you, Rob. You actually, people don't know that they can't see the show notes, but I've actually literally shortened. You know how you have Missouri, New Jersey is NJ, for instance. You know, I've shortened Queensland to its official term, QLD, and he still read it as Queensland. Good job, Rob. Look at you.
Nailed it.
Geography nut. All right, large events upcoming over the next few months. I've only got 2 listed now. The July 13th in Suffolk, UK, there's 21 there now. But July 14th in Fairfield, Ohio, that's jumped up a bit, Rob. That's got 30 there now, which is really cool. And there's one other there that we spoke of last 2 weeks. It's not there anymore because it's still not on the page. So Denali, there you go. 0407.
Like I said last week, it's got to be calendar official if we're going to start and keep talking about it. Calendar official.
That's right. So we're not going to talk about it until it's calendar official from now on. Denali 0407. So there you go. All right, Rob. All right, that's enough for the week. It was to a certain degree because we're going to come back to it. But we've got to talk about the new things that have happened and come out this week now. And I'm talking about the new Secret Zeeops. Firstly, Rob, before we start, mm-hmm. If you're brand new to Munzee and you don't know what we're talking about now, what is and how can we find the new Secret Zeeops, Rob?
Well, all the information that we talk about is on the blog. So, you can always check that stuff out, munzeeblog.com. Yeah. Now, Secret Zeeops in particular are in the app. There's a little over on the right-hand side. There are 3 buttons down at the bottom right corner. The Zeops, I believe, is a red one.
Yep.
Looks like a little crosshair. So you click on that, and what you have daily Zeops. So something that you can do every single day. You can only do one. So check those out. They are completely free.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a tab there with Secret Zeops. You click on that one, and if any Secret Zeops are available, they are 1,500 Zeds. And so you purchase that, and it opens up into this whole new world. Right now,
new challenges.
There's all kinds of things. The rewards are usually worth it. Mm-hmm. There are more than 1,500 Zeds worth of rewards every single time. We try to make sure that that's happening. But yeah, we've got a special one. So everyone's figured out we release these once every other month. That's how it works.
Oh, okay.
So, we'll just pull back the curtain. That's how it goes.
There you go.
We did change that up from last year, because last year it was the odd months. This year it's the even months, just for fun. So check them out. Once you open one of the missions, all of the ones in that grouping, they're all available for you to do, and you can play this, and it runs alongside Clan Wars and everything else that you're doing. It keeps track, and as you make it through the missions, then you earn the rewards and you go on to the next stage.
Yeah, there's some people out there, Rob, as well. Before we talk about this one a little bit further, like in my clan, for instance, as well, they enjoy they get satisfaction out of actually doing one each time. So they open the first one, do the first one. Open the second one, do the second one. Like the actual all the way down the list, not just the entire level 1, for instance. Because out of level 1, I think there's 5 or 6 different missions. And they do mission 1, mission 2, mission 3, mission 4, all the way down slowly. Not me, Rob, and not others. We like to open them all up as quick as we can and then get them done as quick as we can, go on to the next level, and get that number 1 mech that's out there. So if you want to maybe ruin it for yourself, some people say spoil it for yourself, go onto the water cooler, and because within a day, I can guarantee, almost guarantee, within the day, depending on the missions, within the day you will find out what you need to do for every single level, for the 3 levels, to actually get your mech reward. And let's be honest, Rob, when you say that they're worth it, it's worth it in the end, people, not the individual levels. We're talking about the overall rewards. And normally at the end itself, you have a special mech. Now, those mechs you get the blueprint for, and they go on to then your availability to redeploy them with cogs. And that's how it works from there. So this one here, Rob, we're talking about, it's called Sea Serpent. If people haven't read the blog, Sea Serpent. I did notice, Rob, level 1, mission 1, capture 10 shooting stars on the daily show. Now, Rob, before people go nuts about this as well, when Cappy first came out, I mean, we were introducing Cappy, you and I, like this, on the podcast, we're introducing Cappy. I said to you, Rob, is stars ever going to be part of like Clan Wars? That's what I said, was Clan Wars. And you said, correct, no, over my dead body. They're not going to be part of Clan Wars. So there you go. Then this is not Clan Wars, people. This is Secret Zeeops.
Right. You should have taken it a step further and said, "What about Zeops?" And then I would have said no, and then now I would be breaking what I said. However, we've gone back and we've documented, we've checked to make sure we fact checked, because this conversation came up within the team. Like, hey, do you think we should? Yeah. And we decided, you know what? Yeah, why not? It's free, so it's free to do the daily stroll. For those people who have hidden that Camp Hub, don't forget, you can find that. You click on your profile picture in the app. It's the very first button. Go to Camp Hub. And so the Camp Hub is where you see Cappy, and he's got the shooting stars. And you click on him. You start your daily stroll. You have to get 10 of these. Now, does that mean that you have to get 10 in a day? No, it does not, because they are cumulative. Which is good. And we learned something else, and that's the answer to the question of the week, but we'll wait for that. about stars.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So people out there, don't fret. Don't be, especially when they say 10 stars. That was the first question is, do I have to do this in a day? No, you don't.
Right.
No. And I even put, I think on the water cooler, Rob, I even said they're cumulative people. Like that's, I'm assuming they're cumulative to begin with. It wasn't written. If it needs to be done in a day on one stroll, normally you guys would say in a day, one stroll. Like you actually be more specific about it. So there you go. Rob, in level 2, mission 1, you've gone one step further, Rob. You've got, if you don't want to hear this, just like close your ears for 2 seconds. Mission 1 in level 2, you've got a well wisp, Rob.
Yeah,
now, people haven't done these before. How do you get a well wisp, Rob?
Well, you've got to visit a wishing well, and you've got to make a wish. Now, guess what it takes to make that wish in order to chase the well wisp? It takes 10 stars. What? That is say it ain't so. So you have to get the 10 stars in level 1, and then in level 2, use the 10 stars to get the well wisp trail, and then you chase it. Yeah, so that's what's going on.
And then in level 3, you need 3 well wisps. Just saying.
Oh,
Rob.
man.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, so for some people, it's going to take more than just 2 days in order to do this.
1 day for some. That's right. There are people out there who've done it on the very first day within hours. Okay. And I'll be honest, Rob. I'm one of those people. I'm one that I can't handle it just sitting there. I need to get it done.
You got it done?
Well, not yet. I'll get it done today. Today. I've got levels 1 and 2 done, and I'll get levels 3 done today. So, yeah. Wow. Yeah. I even, Rob, so, okay, you talk about this, Munzee, being a fitness type style, Rob, right? So, here's a quick story for everyone out there. Yesterday when these came out, this new Secret Zeeops come out, this is Tuesday we were recording. So Monday they came out. I went through and I went bam, 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 and I did level 1. Perfect. All done. Fine. And I was at home itself. And now I've got a well right out the front of my house because I requested one, like in that request in the app. And so I started doing level 2. And I thought, I can get level 2 done, not a problem. I'd done everything else. I deployed. So if you're friends of mine, you'll find that you'll have new deploys around, like, just saying, always a way. And then I thought, I need a well wisp. That's right. This is going to be easy, Rob. I created a wish from the wishing well, and it threw it 800 foot south of my house. So then I had to go, are you serious? I put on my pants and my shoes because, yes, I was pantsless. I put on my pants and my shoes, and I had to walk out to 500 odd foot to actually get this well wisp. Just see, Rob, and while I was out there, I had to cap the greenies that are just there every day too. So look at that, people. Look at that. It gets you out and about. So there we go. Indeed. All right, Rob, we're going to quickly finish now, or not finish, but we're going to quickly talk about the weekend it was, how big it was. We're going to get some, I'm going to squeeze you, Rob, until your head pops out with some stats for us as well. So this was the biggest capping day. Am I correct in saying it would have been the biggest capping weekend that Munzee's ever had?
Oh, yeah. 3-day time period in a row. This is the largest that we've ever had. We had the largest single day ever as well. We're talking about like multiples of normal days. The as you might imagine, the highest activity days are the 3rd of every month because everyone jumps in, does lots of deploys, does lots of captures. You want to finish the clan wars in day 1. That's how people are. Got it. Totally understand.
That's me.
So we can see that. We can see the patterns. We understand when we have big double point weekends, then the numbers jump up a little bit. Saturdays are always big. So we've known this for years and tried to beef up the servers in order to make sure things are good. But this weekend blew all of us away. It was, it was huge. So do you want to ask, or do you want me to tell you?
Well, I'm going to ask, Rob. First and foremost, before last weekend just gone, over let's talk about over 3 days, because that's what it was, over 3 days. What was your biggest capping weekend over 3 days prior to last weekend?
Oh, I don't have the actual real stats there.
But just roughly, how many was it?
It would have been, I would go with normal, like stuff would run over a 3-day time period, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 600,000 caps over a 3-day period, maybe 750,000, something along those lines for 3 days.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. And so what was it then over these 3 days?
So over these 3 days, it was, 2.7 million captures over 3 days.
So you literally blew out your statistics
Absolutely.
by 3 or 4 times the norm.
Yeah.
Not the norm, sorry, 3 or 4 times the biggest one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Largest. And if I went and had to pull exact stats, let's go with doubled the largest weekend. Maybe years and years and years ago, we had something where it was 1.5 million or something over a 3-day period.
Wow, over double.
But we're even if it was only doubled, I mean, the numbers are huge.
That's huge. And you know what then, Rob? A big shout out to all the players out there for getting on board. Good job, people, for getting out there, capping away as well. I hope you enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, to be honest with you, Rob. And even though it wasn't a huge weekend for me, I never got on the leaderboards at all weekend. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, what about then, Rob? Because it was double on everything. So what about deploys then? What's the goal? What does it go with deploys?
So normally, when we're talking deploys, normal deploys on days, let's go with an average of 3,000 to 4,000 deploys on a day. Over this 3-day weekend, 50,000 deploys.
And that's deploys on everything, people. That's deploys on, cards and mechs and, bouncers and all deploys, not just
everything.
It
was nuts.
50,000 compared to 4,000. There you go. Wow. That is absolutely huge. Now, Rob, other people out there who don't understand or don't know, the long-term players, we know what happened in 2022 or 23 or what? 2023. Those people out there don't know, Munzee was changing servers over, all the tech side was changing up. And so, Rob, you said to us at the time, look, the Munzee's going to be down for, I think you said even 12 hours to begin with, which ended up pushing out to 3 whole days.
3 painful, long days.
People, and including myself, we lost our minds. Like, what did we do before Munzee? There was Facebook posts out there left, right, and center saying, I survived the Munzee outage of 2023, all that sort of stuff too. So, Rob, I'm glad to say, though, and aren't you, that you did have that pain there, because now this weekend that gone wouldn't have been able to happen under the last servers, would it?
No. Well, that was all about rebuilding a back end so that we could make everything stronger, make it faster, make it more robust, make it expandable, make it elastic, if you will, so that it grows and expands based on the need. We had only a couple of conversations last week on the tech side with are we ready? And the answer was, we've been testing things to make sure with our, blast weekend, the weekend before last, and that kind of stuff. Just checking to make sure, are we good? And we had some pretty serious spikes, but the servers responded exactly as we'd hoped and planned and built over the last 6 to 8 months. That has been a big project, and really excited for the team for how things went, but really thankful to the players for everything that you did to help us test it, for being patient, and for sending in 0 support tickets over the weekend about this. I've never, ever seen that before. So absolutely huge. Thank you to all the players. Like you said, it was a massive weekend, and you've helped us determine that we are ready to move forward with a lot more stuff, and with the ability to even possibly do this again. Double points on everything. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, and I was going to say this as well, Rob, and that is a big shout out and thank you as well to all the older school players who stuck by Munzee in last year's turmoil, we'll say. I mean, I know, Rob, you've pushed it out of your head at the moment, haven't you? You don't know, you can't even remember, you don't want to remember. Literally, it's one of those things. It's like women in childbirth, how they forget totally what the pain it was. And so that's what it was like for you, mate. And I get that. But again, a big thank you and a shout out to all the old school players out there who went through that turmoil with you, you know what I mean? And then stuck by Munzee itself as this game because it's a game they love. It's a game that gets them outside, fresh air, sunshine, and also it's a game of a social nature as well with the vents and with the water cooler and with clans, you know what I mean? So good job, everyone who stuck by Munzee in their year of turmoil, we'll say, in order to get where it is today and managed to do these huge, huge weekends, mate. Absolutely great.
Ooh,
so awesome. All right, mate, we're going to run out of time if we don't hurry up. Quickly, Rob, the question of the week is rolled over from last week. And the question was, does the Daily Stroll stars and well-wisps count towards scatter points for clan wars and Daily Zeops, etc.?
Yes. I'm so happy to know the answer. The answer is yes. However, this mentions, do they count towards scatter points for clan wars?
Yes.
And it's like, almost makes me feel like, what? You want it to be a clan requirement? Is that why you even mention it? Oh, no, it's separate. It's just to stop you.
The individual Daily Stroll stars is not a clan war requirement. However, can go towards a set of requirements being the scatters. So there you go.
Oh,
exactly right. Exactly right. Before we finish up, Rob, we're going to go with the tip of the week because we always have to have tips of the week. This one's really quick, and that is, if you've got your own Skyland and Treehouse people and there's nothing on it, there's 0 bounces on it, you can either A, magnetize it, or if you don't have any magnets or don't want to magnetize it, just cap it. Cap it and get those small points to 10 points, 25 points, whatever it might be. Just cap it before you go to sleep of a night. So it's not harm to anyone. Don't miss out on those easy points, Rob. That's the tip of the week. So there you go.
Very good.
Very good. All right. Are we going to introduce this song, or are we just going to end first and let the song roll on? Actually, firstly, we've got to say who it's from. So who is the song from, Rob?
Okay, so I met a special guy at Geo Woodstock back in Flagstaff, and he's a very creative sort. And actually, in talking to him, so he's 14, and want to do some work with him in the future. Won't put all the plans out there, but he's sent me an email. His name is Julian, and so Julian has come up with the unofficial song that relates to everyone's favorite unicorn.
Cappy, it's the unicorn.
It's Cappy the unicorn. Yeah. So anyway,
all right.
He also shares this is AI created, just so I need to put that out there.
Yeah.
Created by Julian via AI.
Very good. So, Rob, this ends another official Munzee podcast.
Thanks for joining us on this Munzee adventure.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting app, and join us next week for another informative episode.
And remember, Munzee is more than a game. It's a worldwide community of mobile game players.
So keep scanning, keep discovering, keep that Munzee spirit alive. Rob, 1, 2, 3. Here is Cappy
the unicorn.
Cappy the unicorn's here today with a sparkle and a twinkle leads the way. Munzee hunting in the night.